What if the person you confide in most is the one quietly damaging you the most? And what if your loyalty to them is the very thing keeping you stuck? I had someone in my life who seemed endlessly supportive, always asking how I was doing, offering advice, and checking in. But after every conversation, I felt smaller, more confused, like my every decisions were never quite good enough. At first, I thought they cared, but looking back, I realized now that they were secretly toxic. And the scariest part yet? They didn't look toxic at all. There were no insults, no screaming, just quiet manipulation wrapped in fake concern. It took me way too long to spot the signs. If you feel someone in your life is slowly draining your confidence, stealing your energy, or robbing your peace without ever raising their voice, then this is for you. Here are 10 signs that someone might be secretly toxic. Sign number 1, the emotional vampire. Ever leave a conversation feeling like someone reached in and sucked the life out of you, even though they smiled the whole time? That's not bad vibes. That's a walking emotional vampire. They don't scream, they don't insult, but somehow after being around them, you're mentally foggy, drained, anxious, and you can't explain why. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Backhanded compliments, subtle eye rolls, dismissing your feelings with a laugh. These tiny jabs create constant tension, and your nervous system feels it before your mind does. Therapists say this is common. Clients feel exhausted after these interactions because their body's been in defense mode the whole time. If you feel relief when plans cancel or you need recovery time after seeing someone, your body's waving red flags. You're not sensitive. You're being siphoned. The second sign is sneakier, and it shows up when you're winning, especially when your success has nothing to do with them. Sign number 2, the Success Saboteur. You tell them something amazing, new job, relationship, goal crushed, and their first response? That's great, but it always starts with a smile, followed by a reality check you didn't ask for. Are you sure you're ready for that? That industry is really unstable. Don't get too excited. You know how these things go. It sounds like concern. It's actually control. A career coach put it best. When someone constantly responds to your wins with warnings, clients start to shrink their own success just to avoid the judgment. If someone only feels secure when you're second guessing yourself, they're not being realistic. They're being strategic. This isn't caution, it's ego protection. They need you small so they can feel big. The next sign shows up in how they handle other people's secrets, and it says way more than they think. Ever notice how someone always accidentally spills private info about others? Makes you wonder what they're saying about you when you leave the room. Sign number 3, the secret collector. You think you're the trusted one, the person they confide in, but you're not special. You're a storage unit. They show up with that classic opener. I probably shouldn't tell you this, and just like that, someone else's private life is dumped in your lap. It feels like trust. It's actually surveillance. Because the second you're not in the room, they're doing the exact same thing with your secrets. A relationship therapist puts it bluntly. If someone constantly shares what was meant to stay private, it's not intimacy. It's manipulation masked as connection. This isn't honesty, it's strategy. They use information as currency, trading secrets to stay relevant and maintain control. And the more you know, the more you owe. The next sign shows up in their patterns of crisis, and the timing is never random. Sign number 4, the crisis creator. Every time something good happens in your life, a win, a milestone, a moment for you, they fall apart. Suddenly, it's all about their emergency. Again, genuine crises are real, but toxic people use chaos like clockwork. It always shows up when the spotlight isn't on them, and if you don't drop everything to rescue them, the drama escalates fast. A behavioral analyst puts it like this: real emergencies are random. Manufactured ones show up on cue, usually when someone else is getting attention. It's not bad luck, it's emotional hijacking. If their life only falls apart when yours is finally coming together, it's not a coincidence. It's control wrapped in crisis. The fifth sign shows up in how they apologize and what they do after they say sorry. Sign number 5, the apology recycler. They say sorry, they cry, they open up about their past, and for a moment, you believe them. But then it happens again and again. They don't apologize to change. They apologize to reset the clock, to make you feel guilty for bringing it up. Suddenly, you're the cold one for not letting it go. One counselor put it perfectly. A real apology ends a pattern. A fake one buys more time inside it. Watch for the cycle: damage, apology, temporary change, repeat. And if you try to talk about it, you're keeping score. You never forgive. This isn't self-awareness, it's strategy. Their guilt isn't a bridge and it's a trap, and they're using it to stay close while staying unaccountable. The sixth sign shows up in how they tell stories, especially how they cast themselves in every role. You've seen 5 signs of someone who looks supportive but quietly drains you. These next ones go deeper. They expose how toxic people actually view the world. What they say reveals way more than they intend. Sign number 6, the perpetual victim. Every story they tell ends the same way. They were kind, they were honest, and somehow everyone else was awful. The boss was toxic, the ex was crazy, their friend betrayed them again. And if you ask questions or challenge the pattern, you're just taking the other person's side. A social psychologist breaks it down. If someone is always the victim, no matter the context, they're not telling stories. They're avoiding responsibility. Listen for lines like, "After everything I did for them," or "No one ever appreciates me." Their life isn't a string of bad luck. It's a carefully curated narrative, one where they're never at fault and you're expected to agree. That's not self-expression, it's control through martyrdom. The next sign shows up when you set a boundary, and then their subtle retaliation says everything. Sign number 7, the boundary punisher. You try to set a boundary, calmly, respectfully, and suddenly you're the villain. They don't scream, they sulk. Go quiet, drop little guilt bombs, or worse, recruit others to make you feel like you overreacted. You're left thinking, was it really that serious? Yes, it was. But that doubt? That's the point. A therapist who specializes in relationships says it best. Healthy people might be disappointed by boundaries, but they still respect them. Toxic people see them as rejection. The goal isn't communication, it's punishment, and the message is clear. Next time, don't even try. This isn't emotional sensitivity, it's behavioral training, conditioning you to keep your walls down, so they never lose access. The eighth sign is quieter, but deadly. It lives in the space between what they say and what they actually do. Ever met someone who makes amazing promises but never delivers? This next sign reveals why their words and actions never seem to line up. Sign number 8. The commitment shifter. They promise, they agree, they commit, and then somehow it's like none of it ever happened. I never said that. You must have misunderstood. That's not what I meant. Suddenly you're second-guessing yourself, scrolling through texts, wondering if you imagined the whole conversation. This isn't forgetfulness, it's reality distortion. A cognitive behavioral expert explains, when someone constantly shifts the terms and then denies it, they erode your confidence in your own memory. That makes you easier to control. If someone's version of the truth always bends in their favor, and you end up feeling guilty for expecting basic follow-through, it's not miscommunication. It's gaslighting and disguised as confusion designed to keep you off balance. The ninth sign is subtle, but telling. It shows up in their empathy and when it suddenly disappears. Sign number 9, the selective empathizer. They're incredibly kind when it's convenient. They'll show compassion when it makes them look good or costs them nothing. But when you really need support, when it's messy, inconvenient, or might pull attention away from them, suddenly they're distant, irritated, cold. It feels confusing, like emotional whiplash. Wait, I thought they cared? A researcher studying human empathy put it clearly. Genuine empathy doesn't vanish when things get hard. If it only shows up when it benefits them, it's a performance, not connection. Watch for people who are emotionally available for your small problems, but dismissive of your deeper ones, or who disappear the second your needs interrupt their comfort. This isn't inconsistency, it's conditional caring. Empathy used as currency, not connection. The 10th sign is often hiding in plain sight, buried in how all their past relationships ended. Sign number 10, the relationship disposer. At first, they're obsessed with someone. Constant texts, big praise, instant closeness, and then silence. They ghost, or worse, they flip. Suddenly, that amazing person is now crazy, toxic, ungrateful. Their social history is a graveyard of once important people they now trash without a second thought. A veteran relationship counselor puts it like this: the way someone speaks about their past relationships is often a preview of how they'll treat you later. If they have no long-term friendships, if every ex was the problem, if they cycle through people like trends, that's not growth. That's disposal. This isn't just a pattern, it's a warning, because how they end things with others is exactly how they'll end things with you. These 10 signs reveal the quiet patterns of secretly toxic people, the ones who look supportive on the surface, while slowly chipping away at your well-being underneath. If certain people leave you feeling anxious, drained, or unsure of yourself, that's not paranoia. That's your intuition recognizing danger before your mind has the words for it. Genuinely supportive people don't need to control you. They celebrate your wins, respect your limits, and take ownership when they cause harm. So when something feels off, trust that feeling. Your instincts aren't overreacting. They're trying to protect you. Now, if you find this video helpful, we want to hear all about it. Leave a comment and share your experience. Pragmatic Principle posts 3 to 4 videos per week, so subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and check back daily. See you in the next video.